Good morning, everyone, and oh, that's loud. Hold on just a second. Good morning, everybody. Hold on. I see that my microphone levels are fun. Okay, I think we're good. Um, Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get together live here on Facebook every single morning of the week, Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday, 10:30 in the morning, where we get together and discuss the latest headlines, comments, ideas, topics, suggestions that we may have that help us have an awesome life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English speaking locals. I hope you're having a fine morning. I'm having a strange morning because I can't hear my background music. It was really weird because I set everything up for the show this morning, and for a strange reason, I cannot hear my background music. But I hope you heard the background music, and I think you are hearing me fine because otherwise you would have already commented on the sound. So this is all good. This is good. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had a good time yesterday playing with the opera blob. What a strange T-shirt that was. I would not T-shirt. I see somebody comment on a T-shirt, and I think T-shirt. And that's Chuck Crane, who says, a polo shirt and not a T-shirt, all dressed up on a Monday. I'm going out on a mission. I have to go shoot a video for Hotel Mercurio later on today. So we're going to be photographing, Paul Christ, my dear friend Paul, has two brands, a hotel that is an LGBT hotel and a bathing suit line. So I'm going to be photographing sexy guys wearing bathing suits in a hotel. Not a bad way to start the week. Anyhow, oh my God, what a great question. I'll get to that in a second, Brenda. You have no idea, but I will be happy to answer. In fact, I'm going to answer that question right now. Do I ever have bad days? I have bad days about 3 to 4 days a week. I suffer from clinical depression. So my life as an adult has been an ongoing, nonstop wrestle with gray clouds that love to come and park themselves over my head. But thanks to many years of talk therapy and a fair amount of medication, this is how I wrestle life on a daily basis. So do I have bad days? Absolutely. Absolutely. But bad days are good reminders of how to wake up and how to get up. And bad days are great because then you're going to come back to a good cycle. Anyhow, before we get diving into all kinds of deep, dark secrets about me or anything, welcome. For those of you that are new, this is Coffee and Headlines. If you are new to this community, please write the word new in your comments so that I can welcome you properly, so that we can welcome you into this cluster of fun people that we've become. And if you have, oh yes, you missed an opera blog, Michael. It was brilliant yesterday. Anyhow, if you have any important questions that you want to address during the broadcast, please add the letter Q at the bottom, rather at the beginning of your question, and that way we'll be certain to give it undivided attention. Now, let's take a look at who's here, because we always do this, and it's always great to see who is joining us. I see a lot of familiar faces. Tapia, I hope things are going well with your land purchase here in Puerto Vallarta. Please let us know how things are going. William says brr, and I totally feel that. It is cold this morning, but there are people shoveling snow elsewhere, so what can I tell you? Let's see. New to live, usually watch on YouTube. Love the show. Thank you very much, Beth. The nice thing about being here is that we can throw cakes at each other in a nice, gentle, non-hurtful way and actually interact with one another. And Beth, one of the beautiful things about doing this, if you haven't done so, is you start interacting, you start engaging, you start making friends. And this has happened to me. I can speak from personal experience. One of the great gifts this holiday season for me has been that through Coffee and Headlines, through the simple fact of interacting with one another on a daily basis, it feels like we are a community. And I have friends that have come to me and have said so repeatedly, how nice to meet new friends, how nice to meet new like-minded friends. So I hope this community will serve you in that way. That's what we are here for. Let's see. ¿Qué onda, Alan Shepard? Always great to see you. I hope you have a good week as well. Raymond, we need to have a heart-to-heart because I can't stop watching videos about making bread. I must make bread. I wonder if it's something that it's my body telling me, Paco, you need more bread in your diet. Like I need more things that'll make me fat or anything. But bread, I can't stop watching videos on how to make bread. This is really crazy. So now I am researching the most gratifying, least expensive way to make bread at home without spending money on gadgets, which is what I would usually do pre-pandemic. So now I am going to be all budget about this. I'm going to make one loaf of bread just to get it out of my system. And if I enjoy it, maybe I'll make another one. And before you know it, maybe I'll end up with a totally new pastime. I don't know about that. Luna, as always, is paying attention to everything that's going on, taking notes, right, Luna? Right? Are you taking notes? Yes. Okay. You continue taking notes down there. Let's see who else. A winter solstice. Thank you very much for that reminder. That's right. Today is December 21st. Solstice. Of course. Let's see. What else do we have? We heard the background music twice. Thank you very much, Michael. Maybe I'll restart my computer and it'll be fine. What's important right now is that we can hear and see each other. And this is a good thing. Although I keep having fun with my volume button. Okay, I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to be too soft. I just want to be me. Okay, I'm almost done. Tough job on that photo shoot. Well, somebody's got to do it. I actually enjoy it very much because I've done male portraiture for many years. So, just doing portraiture in general, having the permission to get close to someone with a camera and point it at them is a person allowing you to do that. And for me, that is the most gratifying part of it. Oscar, cuando nos vemos? It's great to see you. Let's see what else. Hello from Coapinoles, says my friend Oscar. I love it. My friend is Wellbutrin. Yay, Wellbutrin. I dig Wellbutrin. I've been through the whole gamut of medications, and I'm never shy to talk about clinical depression. I think it's so important to talk about this because people that are not facing clinical depression sometimes have a difficult time understanding where it comes from. And well, I'm not going to go down that road unless one of these days we have like a Zoom call for those of us that suffer from clinical depression, because I know that we are, there are a few of us there. Oh, Tapia, I'm sorry to hear that. If there were paperwork issues, then it probably means you were not meant to own that piece of land. Look at it that way, because when there are paperwork issues, and then that might lead to something fishy. So I really hope that this is good for you, and that you are mindful of the fact that there's a lot of properties available for sale down here. I'm sure you will find the one that is the right one for you. Let's see. It takes a lot of dough to make good bread. Bum. I like that joke. Where is my party noisemaker? Here it is. It takes a lot of dough to make good bread. See, and I didn't hear that. How weird that my computer is not playing sounds this morning. Very, very weird. Anyhow, that was enough of my welcome to you this morning. Let's do the Zoom meeting, says another depressed soul. Let's do it one of these days. June, oh my goodness, June Rosen Lopez. What a great person to run into. June Rosen Lopez has been in Puerto Vallarta forever and ever, and I used to harass her when I first met her. She's a lovely jewelry maker here in town, and when I first met June, I used to not incessantly tell her, you look like Carly Simon, and then I figured she never reacted to it, so I figured either I was completely wrong in my assessment, or she was annoyed at me for saying so. But I still think that June Rosen Lopez looks like Carly Simon. So there, I can say that because I'm sitting in my living room. No, seriously, June is one of the nicest people you could meet. She's a jewelry designer. She lives at Loma del Mar, and that's where she has her home studio. And I hope you're still making wonderful jewelry and that you're doing okay. And yes, it could be that the Russians have hacked me. I have a lovely young man that delivers fresh hot bread to my house. I like the sound of that, Gina. If he would look good on a swimsuit, I would like to meet your young man, because that's what we are doing today. But before we go and photograph sexy guys wearing Mercurial swimwear, let us go into the news. Of course, it is Monday, and our governor has given us the weekly indicators that a couple of weeks ago he failed to give us. So, and if anybody else thinks that June looks like Carly Simon, please make a comment to that effect so that I don't feel so shitty. Anyhow, here we go. Let us start with the news. And I know I'm not going to hear the little news music, and I'll figure that out on my own later on. Boom. How totally bizarre. I see the indicator of the sound going out, but it's not playing on my speakers. Very strange. Anyhow, we have, these are the words that Enrique Alfaro Ramirez, our governor, shared with us yesterday. He says, this week in the Jalisco COVID-19 indicators, the rate of positivity went down from 46% to 42.7%. The intensive care occupation of hospital beds went from 49% to 47.3%, and the general occupation in public hospitals is staying at a 31%. Unfortunately, from 76 municipalities at high risk, we climbed up to 98. I know that it's been a complicated year with a lot of toggle and wrestle, but despite the fact that we can start to see a light at the end of the road with the arrival of the vaccine, we have difficult days ahead, and we cannot let the guard down, particularly this time of year in which temperatures drop and families get together. Tomorrow, that is today, the Health and Economic Reactivation Councils will get together to help us determine what follows. We will keep you informed, but every step will depend on how we fare these days, which is why it is very important to protect our family and that of our loved ones. We already know how to do it. Let's get to it. Oh, I even made a rhyme there. I didn't mean to make a rhyme. But those are the words of our governor. And let us now take a quick look at what the charts look like so we can see what we're dealing with. First of all, this is the general occupation in hospitals. We have a 31% in the state, and patients that are under intensive care, we have a 47.3% at present time. This is what that occupation looks like in public hospitals throughout the region. As you can see, in Puerto Vallarta, the occupation is fairly low, say, compared to Alto Sur. Right now in Puerto Vallarta, we're at 10%, whereas in Alto Sur, they're at a high 50.8% of hospital capacity, which is, you can see that it is a noticeable difference between one and the other. Here's our positivity. That is, of every 100 tests that Radar Jalisco performs, 42.7% come out as positive. This is for the official tests that are being administered by the government. And this is what we look at. What we look at here is the number of municipalities that have a high risk. And of course, Puerto Vallarta is down here, and we can see that we are at high risk. In fact, I can see that a lot of municipalities through the entire state are at high risk right now. So hopefully we all know and understand why this is, and so forth and so on, and why it's happening. Oh, wait, I forgot to get Maine plus Luna. There we go. There she is, so that she can keep us company throughout the whole day. So that is the latest on COVID locally. Let me take a quick look at your initial comments and suggestions before we move on with other topics, which include a phone call between President-elect Joe Biden and Mexican President Andrés Manuel López-Obrador. Let's see. More depression cocktails. I love it. I love it. Maybe after show, restart your computers. Yes, I will definitely do something to that effect. What's important, Joe, is that you can hear me, and that's all that matters to me right now. If I cannot hear my happy music, I'll be fine for at least a few minutes. Sign me up for clinical depression talks. Interesting. Driving to Mexico. I hope your drive is really safe, Celeste. I hope you've done this before. And if not, have some loved ones that you stay connected with on a regular basis. I don't mean to say this in a frightful, or with the intention to frighten you or anything. Quite the contrary. I know that when friends of mine travel, in fact, when I go out and meet friends out in the city, I always let them know that I came home. Even if it's just like an afternoon outing or something like that, I'm in that habit. So, pick your loved ones and let us know, or let them know, how you're doing on your trip. Send some postcards, but not like the postcards that I'm going to tell you about today. Guess how long a letter takes to go through Mexican postal system from Monterrey, which is in the northern part of the country, to Texas, to Dallas? Just take a wild guess. We'll get to that in the leisurely section. If testing is mostly people with symptoms, positivity rate is going to be high. Absolutely true. Question. There was 2 or more loud explosions last night in EM. EM must be election morning. EM could be established mammoths. No, I'm kidding. I know it's Emiliano Zapata, but I love all these initials. Actually, I don't, but that's okay. There was 2 or more loud explosions last night in EM, Emiliano Zapata. Any info? None that I have heard. Maybe it was just firecrackers. Firecrackers down here are Mexican-style firecrackers, and sometimes they sound like explosions. Yes, the situation in Mexico City and Guanajuato is dire. Thank you for the report, Christine. We know that you are all in the red, and it's really complicated in Mexico City and surrounding areas because people think that Christmas is more important than taking good care of yourself. And there have been a lot of raids of parties that were not supposed to be happening, and so forth and so on. And unfortunately, we've seen comments from the federal government to the effect that this season is going to either make us or bend us. So we can only hope that people will be as careful as possible. We know that the numbers are going to go up after Christmas. That is inevitable just because of the way people gather, and what kind of measures the government will be forced to take if the numbers don't come down after the beginning of the month, next month. We'll have to see what happens. Let's see. 47 out of 100. It is 47%. But again, as Paul mentioned, Christy, these are people that have symptoms, not the general population. These are not random tests. The people that are going to get tested through Radar Jalisco are people that are already showing symptoms. So I would not be so spooked about the fact that 47 out of 100 people that have symptoms showing up with COVID. Let's see what else. I can only tell you that you're going to be safe, Robert, if you take good care of yourself. I live here. We all live here, and we take good care of ourselves. We've seen people around us that have caught the virus, and we've seen people around us that blatantly don't take care of themselves. So if you take care of yourself and you know what the guidelines are, you should be fine. And if you know the kinds of places or activities to avoid, you should be fine. It's fairly straightforward. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so I thank you very much for that, Clay. I have not seen that chart. Again, sometimes I find that the numbers, depending on where they come from, and I trust Trisha, she always posts reliable information. The charts and the numbers can sometimes, in my opinion, be disorienting. I know what I have to do to stay safe today, and I know what I need to do to stay safe tomorrow, and so forth and so on. So hopefully we will all find some peace of mind there. Let me continue with the news because your comments are really wonderful. I'm getting sucked into your comments, which is great because you're all engaging. But we have other things to talk about. How really bizarre. I got kicked out. I hope you're all there. I don't understand why I got kicked out, but hopefully you are with me. This is really bizarre. This hasn't happened in a while. I'm really sorry. And I certainly hope that you'll be able to catch up with the broadcast and that you'll be able to continue watching. Again, I apologize for being disconnected. I don't exactly know what happened, but I was telling you about the fact that Joe Biden had a phone call. Yes, that was weird. Thank you very much. That was weird for me too. It came out of nowhere. But we are here. We are here. Tremendous apologies. Anyhow, we learned that Joe Biden finally had a phone conversation with López-Obrador. We know as a fact that López-Obrador, our president, was reluctant to congratulate Joe Biden for his win until the dust settled. And now that has happened. They had a telephone conversation this past Saturday, and we understand that the conversation was very positive for both ends, that President Biden wishes to treat our president and have an equal relationship, and they are looking at new ways to collaborate in an orderly fashion as they continue moving forward. So we don't have many details, but we know that they had this conversation. This was both reported by the U.S. government, and it was also reported by our president, Andrés Manuel López-Obrador, who tweeted, "I have had a telephone conversation with President-elect from the United States, Joe Biden. We reaffirmed our commitment of working together for the well-being of our countries and our people." That's what Andrés Manuel López-Obrador, our president, wrote on his Twitter account. We also know some details about how the whole call came to be. It happened in 5 days. Apparently, this began when Andrés Manuel López Obrador decided to congratulate finally Joe Biden, and our Chancellor Marcelo Ebrard expressed an interest in having a conversation. So once both parties agreed in the terms of the conversation happened in a matter of 5 days. So this is good to know, given the fact that a lot of critics had been concerned about the fact that Andrés Manuel was not making a good decision in waiting to speak with Joe Biden. But of course, everything seems to be fine, and we can all look forward to all kinds of interesting information coming from our new partnership with the United States once the dust finishes settling up north, and we know that won't happen until the beginning of January when Joe Biden, President-elect Joe Biden, gets finally officially named the President of the United States. And we know how much of a complicated situation that still is in the United States, but hopefully it'll be a peaceful changing of the guard as it should be. Let me take a quick look at, oh my God, we have to continue talking. Well, we don't have to, but you will be just most amused and bemused about the latest details. Luna, are you sure you want to be that way? Come on. There you go. People love you. That's more like it. That's more like it. Anyhow, too much attention to Luna. Sorry, I can't help it. Yes, January. Oh, I'm sorry. It's January 20th. That's the inauguration day. So I assume we are going to be able to all take a look at this new relationship with the United States once Joe Biden has had a time to get himself comfortable and begin his new period as president of the United States. We have more news to report about the unfortunate murder that took place last week here in Puerto Vallarta, including some truly amazing things that happened. For starters, the workers that the employees of District 5, the venue where Aristoteles Sandoval was killed, the employees are still in jail for having cleaned up the crime scene. But that is not the only thing that happened. This is the part that really baffles me. The crime went on, and someone had the time to steal the security cameras from the place. Now, this is something that the state's attorney is going to have a field day trying to explain. How it is that a former governor gets killed in a bathroom, and the criminals manage to leave the scene, and the employees clean the bathroom. So they clean the crime scene, and they cannot use the security camera footage because it has been stolen. I mean, let us cue our favorite correspondent. I hope you get the sound. I mean, what the fuck? That was totally unexpected, and only God knows what is going to end up happening with this situation or how the government is going to explain it. And you're probably wondering, who are the people behind this business? And I found an interesting article in El Universal, which tells us a little bit about the family behind the business District 9. And this is part of a family called Altamirano Ochoa. I'm going to quickly glance through this article in case you are curious about this. Let us see. The restaurant is run by young entrepreneurs of the Altamirano Ochoa that has been in the restaurant business for 30 years throughout Mexico, opening restaurants and nightclubs in different places in our country. Let's see. We have details about whose name is the restaurant under, but it is the family, the Altamirano Monroy families. They own a bunch of brands, including La Vaquita, M, La Mandala, Pink Bar, República Taco, and they're everywhere. They are some of the most, according to this article, they are some of the most productive um, brands in the states of Jalisco, Nayarit, Mexico City, Baja California Sur, Quintana Roo, and so forth and so on. So the people that actually run uh, the restaurant are three brothers, well, one sister and two brothers. Sofia, she is 28. Octavio, he's 26. And Ricardo is 25. They are the grandchildren of ex-Nayarit Governor Rigoberto Ochoa Zaragoza, who was governor of Nayarit between 1993 and 1999. So, again, we don't know exactly. We don't know much about these families. All we know is that well, they run restaurants with questionable reputation and with questionable ties to the organized crime. But again, all that is hearsay. We don't know exactly what the details are. All I know is that for the prosecutor's office to unravel this one will be quite a field day. And we know that because the public eye is he has the spotlight. I mean, they really have to resolve this situation. Otherwise, the scrutiny from the public is going to be tremendous. Let me switch over to the weather, and then we can take a look at your comments. Let's see. Boom. Here we go. Okay, it is 23 degrees, feels like 25. I love it. Our snarky weatherman says, I did not hack the U.S. government. It was Fozzie Bear, I swear. Love it. 23 degrees. It feels like 25 Fahrenheit. It's 74 degrees right now. We are showing 60% humidity, so it's a little bit more humid than yesterday. The weather forecast tells us that it's going to be clear through the day with a high of 27, a low of 18. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy through the day, high of 28, low of 17. And Wednesday, clear through the day, 29 is the high temperature, 16 is the low temperature. These are beautiful winter, Christmas, December days here in Puerto Vallarta. Let me take a quick look at your questions and comments before I share with you the final headline that I have to share with you. Let's see. Ba-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Lots of attention for Luna. Of course she deserves it. Sorry about that, Luna. You're back. There you go. Boom. The employees are in jail. Yes, the employees are in jail because in Mexico it is a crime to clean a crime scene. Camera's gone or the recording. I think it is the recording equipment that is gone, Michael. Crime was well planned down to stealing cameras. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's just inconceivable. And of course, we love our what the fuck parrot. I knew that holding on to him would be important because, you know, we live in Mexico, and living in Mexico includes unleashing the what the fuck parrot from time to time. I would have to agree with that, William. Although, again, this is all speculative. As many things are when you're dealing with high levels of government and high levels of organized crime. You know, I'm sure there are people that know exactly what happened, but for us regular common folk to learn the details is going to be a difficult thing to understand. Logan has a very interesting comment here. A great ally to the LGBT community here in Jalisco. Well, yes and no, Logan, because again, if we start putting A and B together, these are businesses that are tied with organized crime. And are they really allies with the LGBT community, or are they allies with the fact that a lot of people from the LGBT community are likely to purchase drugs from the people that sell them? So it is really difficult to understand. Why so many helicopters flying so low in the Bay? Because the governor is looking by helicopter for the criminals. Well, the helicopters are here just as part of the whole security surveillance operation that the state government is now running to make sure that they understand where people went or what people are doing and so forth and so on. I can believe that. Yes, I have not been in that part of town. In fact, I have not wanted to leave the house, not because I fear for my life, but because I hear that traffic is really chaotic out there. Could have been threatened if they didn't clean up. Probably, probably. I mean, all kinds of fantasy images go on through my mind when I think about how these things may go on, you know. And when you look at some of the television series that we watch where you see the narco having so much power over individuals, it's like you can easily imagine all kinds of things. But again, I I advise against letting our imaginations run wild, and remember that this is not something that has to do with most of us. So hopefully we will be able to learn more about the details as they become available. On a pleasant note, how was my hike on Saturday? My hike on Saturday was divine. It was great. I love going out on my feet and walking. It's my favorite type of exercise. And I was hiking with close friends, people that are part of my cluster. So I felt very wonderful and safe, and I felt loved, and it was just beautiful. I think we are pretty much at the end of this broadcast. I do want to share this one little headline that made me chuckle. Apparently, the members of the edit of Grupo Reforma. Grupo Reforma is one of the newspaper publishers that I follow, and they decided to mail a letter from the city of Monterrey to the city of Dallas, Texas. Now, a drive from Monterrey to Dallas is probably, I don't remember, but it is maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to the border, and then maybe between 3 and 4 hours north to Dallas. So the whole trip by car should not have taken more than 7 hours. But this letter, sent through Mexican Post Office Service, took, can you guess how many days? It took 116 days to go from Monterrey to Dallas. Yay! And this is precisely why we don't trust the Mexican Postal Service. I don't know who does. I don't know who uses it. But again, if you ever want to send a letter north, try something else. And if you get postcards for this Christmas, say in March or April, don't be surprised. It's the story of my life. And with that, I'm going to wrap things up. And thank you, as always, for being part of this cluster. I wish you the most wonderful week. Christmas is right around the corner. What a strange Christmas we're having this year. And let's make the best of it. Let's make it count. Let's make these times to reflect on the friendships that we have, on the family that we have, on the loved ones that we have, and let us focus on keeping everybody safe, starting with ourselves. So please stay kind, stay happy, stay smart with your decisions, and hopefully I'll see you again sometime in the near future, maybe even tomorrow. Have a great day.